What's up guys, MomoJiri here, and welcome to another top 5 video. This week we're going to be going over a few top 5s, and the first one that we're going to go over is our top 5 most wanted competitive decks, or decks that we want to see be competitive in the competitive scene. Because a lot of these decks have the potential, but it just needs like one card or so to be able to break that barrier and set off and just play competitively. So everyone will play it, but then we don't want everyone to play because we want to play it. So it's a very weird kind of world we're living in, but forgive me. So let's get started with our top 5. And number 5, we're going with Synchrons. And I mean back in the day, tuningware, tuning, quick draw, junk Synchron. And I love this deck to death. Mainly because it's such a great deck. I mean, they have little things that turn into big things, that turn into bigger things, that turn into huge things, and still give you such massive card advantage. And I know Hyper Librarian, I think it's at 2 or off the list entirely, so that means that that deck can, you know, come to light. But with the release of Link Monsters, Synchron heavy decks and Synchro heavy decks are kind of a thing of the past for the moment. Kinda. Like, you can't spam the board with 5 Synchros. You have to spam the board with Links and Synchros to be able to get the ball rolling. But I guess in this day and age it's kind of hard to balance both because of the card economy, card advantages, and hand traps. All of which suck heavily. So I'm gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do with that. But the plays that you can do with Synchrons are amazing, and I can't wait for the deck to come back. Number 4, we're going with Dino Rabbit. And I mean the pure original Dino Rabbit. I mean Summon Logia set 5 kind of deck. I don't mean this whole new one with the dinosaurs and all the destruction and all the things and the bricky hands and stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, Dino Rabbit can brick hard. Hardcore. But the way the game was back in the day was a lot slower. I mean, now you can't set 5 without your opponent being able to get rid of all 5 in like 3 moves. But we could still figure something out. Dino Rabbit is a really, really fun deck. My old deck profile saw a lot of hate because of the nostalgia I put towards it, because I wanted to make a deck that was really in the past and see that it's back. It's at Rescue Rabbit is at 3, but the original Dino Rabbit deck won't go over so well because some of the cards have changed, some have gone. We can add some new cards to the mix, but it won't really be the same. So it has that competitive potential. It was a competitive deck once upon a time, but it's not anymore, and that sucks. Maybe we could bring it back. I don't know. If we just have to find, maybe we just have to find a good deck profile for it. Number 3 is going to be Crystal Beasts, and I know Crystal Beasts have some really good support coming up in the next set. Well, I think in March, so like 3 sets away. But Crystal Beasts is just such an interesting and fun strategy. You have all these little gems that turn into a giant dragon, and you don't have to banish all of them to summon it. You just have to have 7 different names in the graveyard, and boom, Rainbow Dragon. I wish they would do with Crystal Beasts what they have done with every other archetype and make a sub-archetype underneath it, like miniature Crystal Beasts, or like Mineral Beasts, or like Gem Beasts, or something. Some miniature version of them that, like a miniature Sapphire Pegasus, like baby Sapphire Pegasus, or like baby can't think of any blue gems, but like a tiny version of Sapphire Pegasus that counts as Sapphire Pegasus on the field or in the graveyard and could still like search. Maybe you could search, maybe you put like Crystal Beast spell and trap card from your deck to the spell and trap card zone, and maybe a grown-up Ruby Carbuncle that says when it's normal summon another one, or special summon like some from your graveyard, deck, or hand, or something like that. And just upgraded versions, or like baby versions, you know, so we can have more Crystal Beasts out there. And some more like draw power with the deck. Because rare value is great, but it's cloggy in the beginning because you won't have like the resource to be able to put everything on the field already. If that makes sense? Something like that. But Crystal Beasts can be a competitive deck because they have that potential. And with the new stuff that's coming out, hopefully if they bring in the pendulums that they have showcased in the past, like just package all the Crystal Beast support in one and release it at the same time, and maybe Crystal Beast could see some more light, because that Crystal Beast Ultimate God Rainbow Dragon looks pretty cool. Number 2, we're going with a deck that it's so close to having that competitive potential, and we are talking about Dark Magician. Dark Magician is so close. With the Eye of Timaeus and Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, with Apprentice Illusion Magician, Dark Magical Circle, Eternal Soul, you know, all these new support cards are great, but we're just missing like one key card that can really get the deck steaming and just going. Because we have the searching, but the problem is searching Dark Magician too much stops the ability to use other cards like Magician Navigation. You have to have a Dark Magician in your hand, and some kind of Dark Magician in the deck. Eternal Soul, you need one in the hand or in the graveyard. Dark Magical Circle, you need to continuously summon one. So the more Magician Navigations you play, the more Eternal Souls you play, the more they conflict. And if Magician Navigation would just summon a Dark Magician from your graveyard or hand, and summon a level 7 lower Dark Spellcast type monster from your deck, yeah, that can work. But the fact that it mainly and only has to be in your hand sucks. And Dark Magical Circle doesn't do anything unless you're summoning Dark Magicians. And you only have 3 Dark Magicians, and Dark Magician Dragon Knight counts as a Dark Magician, so you can have 6 Dark Magicians technically. But I don't think you're going to be playing that many Eye of Timaeus. Eye of Timaeus? Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, the deck has that potential to go forward, but it's just really difficult to get around it. And it's really close. It is so close to getting that potential. But we're gonna see how it goes. We really don't know what's gonna happen, and we'll probably figure it out. And of course, number 1, of course, my favorite deck in the world, Blackwings. Blackwings were a competitive deck back in like 2007, 8, or 9. So like 12 years ago. Oh my god. I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh forever. 12 years ago? Wow. Well, I mean, 12 years ago was 2006, but 11 years ago? Like 9 years ago? Wow. 2011 maybe? No, not 2011. Oof, man. But Blackwings were a really big competitive deck, and I got my invite with them back in 2015, if you guys remember that. And it was like a really good time, and just, I mean, when I went to Nationals, I struck out and it just sucked because we kept changing our deck list and we didn't get like enough practice, and just Blackwings weren't there at that time. Like, it wasn't their time to shine. And but Blackwings, they have everything they need. They have Destruction, an Icarus Attack, Summon their monsters, and the Synchros. Searchability, Black Whirlwind, the little guy, not Raikiri. Forget his name. God, I haven't played Blackwings forever. But that little one, swarming capabilities, like every one of them can swarm, and it just has that possibility. But again, it's a synchro heavy deck, and it's a Link era format now. So, I mean, synchros and Link monsters are good together, but it's hard to get many out. Kind of, if you know what I mean. But Blackwings are like my main pushing force. Like Blackwings have that capability. Like one of their cards, Gofu, was seen in like every deck. But if it was a more generic Blackwing card, maybe Blackwing could have abused the shit out of it and really just pushed forward and get the ball rolling. You know what I mean? Just, it could have been a thing. It really could have been a thing. And it still can. We just need, I guess, some more support. Like a level 2 non-tuner monster that can be special summoned. Like, that would be great. Or a level 2 tuner that can be special summoned. Easy. Or easily. You know, something like, they need a good level 2 to really get the ball rolling with like Bora and stuff, and just, yeah, because Gale and Kalut, they're good to get to level 6, but we want an easier way to get to level 6, if that makes any sense, or more ways to get to level 6, and it builds the gap to get to more levels. And Blackwings are a deck that can see competition. They can, but who knows. But yeah, guys, that is my top 5 decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! That need, or I would like to see be competitive. We just need the right cards. Hopefully we'll be able to get them one day. We'll see what happens, but if you have any other decks that you want to see be competitive, I know you do, leave them comments down below. And as always, I'll catch you later.